My roommate said I contributed nothing to the house, so I showed them what nothing actually looks like. Sarah and Jessica were sisters who had turned our apartment into their personal kingdom, and I was, the peasant they were clearly trying to exile. They'd lived there 6 months longer than me, which apparently meant they owned the place. They rearranged the living room without asking, made house rules that somehow only applied to me, and held these whispered little conferences in the kitchen that stopped the second I walked in. It started small, passive-aggressive post-it notes on everything. One morning, I saw a note that said, "Please don't use our cast iron pan," except I'd brought that pan from home. Then came, "Kitchen closes at 10 p.m. for those who work early," which was funny, like really funny, because they both bartended until 3 in the morning. The food situation escalated fast. They'd eat my groceries and leave the empty containers in the fridge like trophies, then complain I was taking up too much space with actual food. My almond milk became their smoothie base. My meal prep containers were mysteriously empty by Tuesday. When I started labeling things, they called a house meeting about how labels were creating a hostile environment. By month 3, they were straight-up manufacturing incidents. I'd come home from a 12-hour shift to find dishes in the sink and Sarah standing there with her phone out, documenting the mess I always leave. They made a shared Google Doc titled Household Concerns. It read like fiction. My favorite entry was, "Leaves excessive hair in the shower drain." I have black hair. They're both bottle blonde. The drain was full of bleached strands. But sure, blame me. They blasted music until 4 a.m. on weeknights, then filed noise complaints when I ran my coffee grinder at 7. Jessica's boyfriend basically lived there rent-free, but when my friend crashed on the couch once after missing the last train, they threatened to call the landlord. The breaking point came on a Tuesday, another house meeting. Sarah sat at the head of the kitchen table, like she was running a tribunal. Jessica stood behind her, arms crossed, trying to look intimidating in her Lululemon. "We need to talk about your future here," Sarah said. Then Jessica exploded. Sarah actually had to hold her back while she screamed that I was ruining their lives and didn't belong in their space. It felt rehearsed. And then Sarah smiled and dropped the real bomb. "We've already talked to Rachel. She agrees. You're not a good fit. Your lease won't be renewed in June." She slid her phone across the table. Texts with our landlord. That smirk on her face? They'd been planning this for months while I was still trying to make it work. I laughed and said, I already talked to Rachel myself." Sarah's smile widened. "She's on our side. We've been here longer." What they didn't know was that Rachel valued one thing above all else: money. And I'd never been late with rent. Not once. Rachel answered on the second ring. I told her everything: the harassment, the fake incidents, and the fact they admitted manipulating her. She paused and then said something beautiful. "You can leave whenever you want. You only pay for the days you're there. Those girls will figure it out." 3 days later, Sarah announced they were driving to Vermont for a cousin's baby shower. The second their car turned the corner, I called in every favor I had: a friend with a pickup, a coworker with a van, even my ex who still felt guilty about cheating. By noon, I had a full moving crew. I took everything that was mine: the couch from Craigslist, the TV my parents gave me, the kitchen table they loved holding tribunals at, IKEA receipt had my name on it, the shower curtain, bathroom rug, Wi-Fi router, even the curtain rods I installed myself. 6 hours later, their stuff sat in neat little piles in the middle of an empty apartment. I documented everything, dropped my keys with Rachel, blocked them everywhere. They got back Sunday night to find their kingdom had become a barren wasteland. Rachel texted me. "They're freaking out, saying you stole everything." She told them, "You only took what was yours. Now they need to fill your room immediately or cover your rent." June suddenly felt very far away when they were paying triple. They never found anyone. Turns out, trash-talking your psycho ex-roommate to every potential tenant isn't great marketing. Jessica's boyfriend mysteriously couldn't move in, something about it being too expensive. By day 28, they were begging Rachel for an extension. She gave them 24 hours. When they couldn't pay, Rachel did something truly beautiful. She called every landlord near campus. She knew them all. Difficult tenants, manipulative, can't pay rent, constant drama. Last I heard, they're living 40 minutes from campus because every decent place just happened to get rented right before their applications went through. They said I contributed nothing. Wish granted.